Us to the topic we are today, retirement. At some point in life, we will all retire, right? Let me give an example. If you are a football fan like me, you would know we have Nigerian footballers, right? And we have some other footballers. How many of you have heard of Emmanuel Eboué? Right? Right? So, how many of you have heard of Kanu Wankwo? So, those two people in their heydays, they tried. They had enough. Right? If you know Emmanuel Eboué now, he will know he's in penury, right? While the other one is still booming. That is why planning is important. Otherwise, we'll all sit down here. There's a propensity that we'll all get wealthy. It's very likely. We pray for that. But there is also the aspect of managing it. You can get wealthy today in your heydays where you're working, where you're doing your skills and everything. But if you don't plan for it, if you don't plan on see how you would maintain it, ladies and gentlemen, the Emmanuel Eboué story might just be as relevant to you as it is to him. So why retirement planning matters? Why does it matter? I'm just giving you a small step. Retirement is not the end, though. We all know that. It is a new beginning. Even the Bible said there is to everything, there's a time and there's a season. There's a season where you will be in the limelight. There's a season where everybody will be applauding for you. There's a season where they will just be calling you and saying, how are you doing? Right? And those are the times when they even remember you. Right? It happens like that for everybody. So the Bible says, to everything there is a season. Many men work very hard, fail to plan for life after work. Without a plan, retirement can be something else. So we are here to talk today on those very few things, simple things, strategies, you call them strategies, that if you can just practice a few of them, because life is practical. Like, you go out there and things happen to us. It's not in the fiction that we imagine. The things that happen are real. And for men, no matter what, we still carry that responsibility. Even up to, some of us, even up to our old age. Even up to our old age. So what do you want to do? We want to talk a few bits. They say a goal without a plan is just a wish. Right? If you have a goal, I want to live, I want to be traveling in my later years. I want to be able to go to places that I have not gone to and just go and rest. Do some other things. Just generally enjoy life. That's a goal. Everybody has a goal, right? Everybody has something that they want to do. But without a plan, we wish you a Merry Christmas. That is what it might just happened. The Bible said the plan of the diligent leads surely to abundance. Right? So we want to do those strategies. We want to learn a few bits that we need. Now, the three things that a fulfilling retirement would actually lean on will be this. Financial security. Very important. Very key. Financial security. You want to be secured. The myth we have is that my children will be big. My children will take care of me. We all wish that, right? It's a dream. It's something we plan to do. That's why we invest in them. But usually, please, that is not a secured way of planning. Right? That is, we all pray for our children to go well. We all do that. As in, it tells us that, in fact, one of the successes of a man is how well the offspring comes up, right? That's one of the things. But that's a myth. You want to have to be able to secure yourself without actually leaning on anybody. You want to be able to do certain things without having to call for help. You don't want to be a burden in your old age. That's the truth. So the number 2 thing is purposeful living. That's the thing about it. You want to stay. That's when you don't want to be lonely in your old age. You don't want to be. You don't want to have, like, you're the only one. You don't have friends. You don't have things that you do. You don't have hobbies. You don't have things that excite you. It's one of the leading causes of death in people. They just fizzle away. We are talking about living a fulfilling and secured retirement life. It's very good if there's a purposeful living. Purposeful living also comes with that spiritual experience that you want to be able to affect nations. So even at your old age, you still want to be relevant spiritually. It's also very important. Then the next thing, which I think we've had a lot of talk today on this, is the health and the wellness. A lot of people spend their reserves trying to keep healthy in their old age. A lot of people eat into what they have actually saved. You will say they've saved those. Some of them have actually tried. But beyond that, what have you done in your early years to ensure that while you're getting old, there are certain aspects of your life, you're still able to do some healthy things. You're still healthy a bit. Some of these things are within our sphere of influence. There are certain things that we cannot all control. We all hear of the health and healthy tips. Doctor gave a few examples. Regular exercise, eat the right diet, do the right things. But I don't know how many of us actually look at those things. So it is very important. I think I'll lean towards a bit of the financial aspect. I have pastors here. Their calling is a bit different. Maybe mine is a bit on this financial side. So that's why I have a bit of experience. So I will talk on some financial strategies for retirement security. Start early. If you have not started, you're already late. But the good thing is, I said, when is the best time to plant a tree? 30 years ago. The next best time? Now. Start early, save consistently. It is not in just saving. It is saving consistently. Now, Proverbs 13 verse 11 says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, right? But whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Little by little, there's a sure foundation there's a sure way of doing certain things. If you rush to certain things, it's likely that you might hit a roadblock somewhere. Right? So you want to start early. Once you start early, the need to start rushing, you might have overcome it. Because there's a programmed way of doing it. Save, save, save. One of the things I would advise all of us here, please. It might be difficult to save. Please automate your savings. If you are in the civil service, automate those savings. What do I mean by automation? Make it that it becomes compulsory. A system takes it out. A system takes it out and keeps it somewhere that it might not be, for you to access it, it might not be just opening your app and you transfer. Right? It puts your, especially for those that are, even for the business people. Put it out there, automate it. Let something debit it and take it somewhere and be yielding interest for you. It is very important because some of us, like I said, we wish we could save. But if something drastically removes it, and you know that it's not easily accessible, you begin to look for other avenues to spend your money from. After a while, your brain automatically works with what is available. You begin to coach yourself that this is actually what is available to you. So let me give you a small insight. The people that are working in maybe paid service. How many of you know that your salary, part of your salary, is being taken out to take care of you have what we call a contributory pension scheme, right? Utube, you can know that, right? Yes. Do you know that if they had put that amount inside your salary, you will still think it's not enough? That's the mentality that we have. You will still think that money that is still added to you is still not enough. But they have taken it out and they're saving it for you at some point. And you have calculated it that's what I have. Now, that is the same mentality you would have when it comes to savings. Please do that. I'll talk a bit more on this. Sorry. How many minutes? I think they should give me more time. I was begging. Okay, diversify your income streams. We are men here. You, as a man, you can't be having one source of income. You can't. The way we were created is that we come with the abilities innate to actually do more than one thing. And if you upskill, you can actually do multiple. So if you sit here and tell me that can only do one thing, it means that really there's no plan for the future. Except even there are some people that are in very well paid jobs, very well paid. But even at being very well paid, there's something about investing, doing another thing. There's a ripple effect. It generates you. It also expands your vision. It expands your vision. If you say, oh, okay, I'm going to... The thing about being well paid is that it lays the platform for you to have more capital. And with more capital comes access to ideas. So it gives you that kind of advantage over certain other people. But people that are able to use that would gain advantage. People that are able to use what they would have normally, as resources to grow their income stream, will do better. A typical example is a man that just my mentor is my mentor in banking. When I started off, the man that was talking, the one that came to represent him, he doesn't know him as well as I do. Because he was, before the everyday, he knew him when everyday food became a name. I knew him when he was in banking, when he was a small person in banking. I knew him when he was at Udomana, and there was nothing. But I also saw the vision. For every time you go to him, there is. I used to be a bit scattered. You go to Magnus' office. No matter the retinue of things that he's doing, is arranged. You would see somebody that is coordinated. So there were practical things that you knew that this person was going to go somewhere. So certain foundations were already laid for him to succeed. So please, you need to diversify your income stream. What do you mean? You could have real estates, annuities. Annuities are things that they pay you periodically. Have those things that paid you periodically. How many mention one? Rentals, very important. Have rentals. Rentals means you can either buy a mortgage, or at some point you can build. You tell me it's not possible, right? But we have people that have built it from very little. Have side businesses. Between the where you work on the things that you do, there is always another need there. So we say your ability to provide solutions that you keep saying is what stands out. There is always a need to be met somewhere around you. Look around it. Once you become that solution provider, somebody will begin to pay you for it. There's nowhere that you work that not one thing. There is an economy around us. It is our ability to take advantage of that economy that diversifies our income stream. You do one thing, I can tell you that the thing around you, there's always something, one, two, and once you start, there's a ripple effect. You begin to see that some other things can come out of it. So, not one person here. I'm not sure for some of us. Some of the experience we get is in the field. We talk, we meet people and we exchange ideas, and things begin to come out. Uncle T works in this. He knows that around that place, there are several supplies that you can do, right? You might not have the money, right? But you know somebody that can do it and get paid. What you just get is your commission for doing that. And you start building up. Last month or 2 months ago, before I traveled out, somebody came with an invoice for to supply this new company, about 100 and something million. Banks are not investors. Please, I will always tell you this. Banks are not investors. We are not investors. We will finance an existing business that will have the ability to thrive. But we are not shareholders in your company. Right? You will not, it's very difficult for you to say you want to use us to raise capital. That's the truth. Because you don't want to we only keep money for people. And there's the day an nephew will wake up and come to the bank and say, we don't have the money he has saved in his account because we have given to Tibe and Tibe has not paid back. It doesn't work. Right? So we will not put things in risky business. Right? And we will not want somebody to use somebody's money to go and try a business. That's the truth. So once you say, oh, it doesn't work like that. You have to look of ingenious ways of generating capital for your business. At times, it's not even you generating the capital. You might just be the link man. But the thing is, you have to be positioned for those things. You have to be aware that in some of the things that you're doing, there is an opportunity. Somebody say we have to be smart. It's important. So the person walked up and I was like, was running into millions. Hundreds of millions. And the person practically does not have anything. As in, the person does not even know how, she has the knowledge of where they can even get the material. But beyond that, that is where it ends. You already know somebody that does this business in that volume. Right? So, first of all I had to do was connect, but ensure that there is an ability for the people that issued the contract employer, to pay. Very important. Very important. You have to, so that there's integrity in play. You have to be sure that whatever investment somebody is making, it's coming back. So within 2-3 days, connect. Within a span of 2-3 weeks, the person was able to supply in hundreds of millions. So all we had to do was just wait a bit. I can tell you off camera, I hope this is not going there. So I can tell you for certain, So what that story actually told us is that, look, there are opportunities everywhere to diversify your income stream. There actually are opportunities everywhere. But so when you say, I can only do one, please, it is because maybe you need to reposition yourself. Right? Budget for retirement. I keep telling, there's no lesson, there's nothing on. Sorry, do I have the time, please? Okay, let me rush it. Avoid financial pitfalls. Most of us enter schemes that we want to, quick schemes. How many of you have fallen victim to quick schemes? And that was the Emmanuel Ebue story, right? Investments in things that they give you the things that high yielding. Sorry, please be careful. The thing about growing up to retirement is that you might not have the benefit of building back. A lot of people have gone that road. They've made so much in their heydays, but they went into schemes that ordinarily look good, but at the end of the day, some call them Ponzi schemes, some call them investments. If you don't know the end from the beginning, if you don't know, if something doesn't sound, it doesn't look too good, please, wise counsel matters. That's one of the points I'll state. It is important that we have that wise. Avoid the things that look so very good, but in the end, you have issues. I'll do a bit on the financial path. Just hold on a bit. So what we have is, I've talked about retirement savings account. Now, we all have that for public servants, for civil servants. But we normally, in advance, we should also have that